Okay, hello everyone. I'm just gonna type a little message here. And while we get set up here, I can't talk and, and type at the same time, so thank you for your patience. Uh, there we go. Okay, and just while we wait for some people to join, tomorrow there's a special event. I don't do these very often, but I have done some in the past, and we will be doing a land. It's kind of a combination land clearing for El Salvador, but it's going to be it kind of has a tendency to go culture, land, and people. So all those together, because there's a way that all three of those kind of get interwoven. And so I was requested to do El Salvador tomorrow, same time as today. So please feel free to join in. It will be on Facebook and YouTube Live. And what has happened in the past for people who are participating is that they receive a clearing by participating. And another aspect of participating is you act as a guiding light also for moving up to a higher place, a better state of being. So we have Alejandra Borda, hello Coconut, and Bhavna has stopped by, and Anna, thanks again. Yeah, you're welcome. So that will be really good. So if anybody can join in who's watching this, that'll be interesting. And okay, let's get started. And divine intervention, yes, hello. I love that name. It just I just gotta see that light of flash, lightning flash that goes and just like, okay, let's cut to the chase here, right? Which is what we're going to do today with cutting to the chase with coming into being. So I'm sitting outside because it's so nice today. It's like early spring. And Melinda's here. Yay. Nice to have you. All sorts of people are joining in. Hello. We're just streaming it. That's great. And Glenna. Oh, Glenna, so nice to see you. I hope you're having some good weather out there. Not, well, I don't know. It should be cold right now. I have a friend who lives in Alberta, and they got their snow, but this is mid-November. So anyway, so yes, let's cut through the garbage and get right into being, because this is what we really are here for, to be, and with everything that we do and that we are is coming into our being. So let's take a moment to get settled into our environment, and let's, again, I like to slow it down. We got some snow. Oh yeah, well, you're up there, aren't you? So that's normal. So I like to slow it down, because this is about us taking the time to really kind of go through the steps and really dive in. Snow and -7. Whoo! Up in Yukon. All right. Now we're talking. Get the dog sleds out, right? So in that cold, and hopefully all bundled up there, and wherever you are, if you're in warmer weather like I am here, is giving yourself that time to just settle in, just slow down and settle in, take some deeper breaths. Diana coming in from London. So relaxing a little bit more, slowing that breath down. And I find if ever I get a little tense, I'll notice that I have a tendency to hold the breath. And that's a really old pattern from just stress from childhood. But people who are anxious, we tend to hold the breath. We hold in and we're like, don't let go. So if you're ever feeling tense, just breathe all the way out. So take a deep breath, hold it for a couple counts, and then just really slowly letting go of that breath. And Dancing to Bloom also is with us. So hi, Kayla. Thanks for joining in. really like squeezing your lungs, contracting your muscles to squeeze all the air out, and the breath will just kick right back in, and so that helps to kind of reset. I believe the vagus nerves, which and the nervous system, so just kind of reset, kind of calms everything down, and coming into that more regular, little slower breath. I've been slowing down my talking since I just did it. Elizabeth, hi. Nice to have you join in. And really just, so focusing on the breath, let's do this for a while and just focus on that in-breath and feeling the whole movement of the body around the in-breath and the out-breath. So really becoming aware. And even, as I'm sitting down, when you really start to tune into the breath, it's almost like that there's a slight floating feeling, even though we're also anchored in our bodies. But floating from kind of just, it's almost kind of this lightness of being that kind of get that, get this piece out of the way. And we kind of come into this coasting kind of feeling. And every once in a while, just kind of stop at the top of the breath, maybe hold it a little bit, and then release. And when you get to the bottom, you might hold it for even just 1 or 2 counts. See what that feels like. See, where the stress might come in. And sometimes it's easy to do, and sometimes it's not, because there's something that's kind of blocking, that's holding. There's been some stress in the system. Maybe you're just too much up here, which is a way of creating stress in the system, because the system needs to be, it's, top, head to bottom, top, head to toe, top to bottom. And the more relaxed we get, the fuller we can take that breath in, then the easier it is to hold in between the inhale and exhale on either direction. So let's coming into a more relaxed breath. And with each breath, just feeling yourself, your muscles, your nervous system, everything kind of slowing down a little bit, your heart rate, everything kind of going, ah. And as we come more into that ah, that relaxation, then we can start to be aware of that. It's like this stillness, and yet there's something vibrant about it that's just kind of in the background of life, of everything, of this physical life, of everything. And really just enjoying that kind of stillness. It's kind of that, we feel it in those pauses we take. The imagery that comes up to mind immediately for me is like being at the top of this mountain, and I can hear the wind here too a little bit in the trees, but there's that whistling. It's very quiet, and you've got this immense view in front of you, and you've let yourself just kind of relax, and it's still, there's this stillness and this aliveness that's there, and it's so easy to just miss that, get sidetracked, because we're busy. I mean, I've been busy all morning doing all sorts of things for my business stuff, that kind of goes to the wayside. It's always there, but it's really nice to take this time. So this coming into being is that gives us that excuse if we need one, that reason, that moment to just come into that being. So really allow yourself in that breath to really feel that. And as you feel it, you might have a sense of that just kind of expanding out in all directions from you too. And continue with the breathing. I haven't figured out how to talk and breathe at the same time, so I'm a little off rhythm there, but keep breathing. And just let yourself feel that stillness. It's almost like this invisible web, this invisible fabric kind of feeling that just spreads out in all directions. Now it is very interesting because it's like it's not square, it's round. It's and round, maybe not round, but it doesn't have sharp edges like a square, and there's this sense of just expanding. So really, let's really let ourselves feel this, because this is a very relaxing place to be and connecting into. So let's see if I can take you even deeper into this one. So keep focusing on your breath and focusing on that, noticing that stillness around you. And let me kind of pump that up for you. And if you're sensitive at the auditory level, you might hear you might kind of hear in the background like a hum. Also, that happens when there's a I forget the term for it, but when there's kind of a lining up frequencies, and you kind of hit that right tone. And in that stillness, what I'm seeing happening is, kind of that stiffness, a lot of stiffness in the back for people. A lot of us have that. If we've carried people on our backs, like energetically, not necessarily physically, but that could be so for some people. We'll have a lot of tension in the back, or when the imagery comes up for the backside of people that not being filled up, like I'm getting this image that's coming up for some people, is that it's like I see the skeleton, but the flesh is not there. So what that's indicating to me is that there hasn't been a lot of that person in their back. They've been kind of filled up with other people. So as if you feel that for yourself, with that breath and in this stillness, bring yourself into your back. And if you need to, I've done this, is like to have that tactile impression, is to really, or you can reach around with your back and feel your back with your hand and come into that, come into your back and shoulders. There we go. Starting to fill up. That's good. So just breathing into that, feeling the breath extend, and with your awareness extending into that bringing your essence into that area. It seems to be the big area right now for majority of people, and it can go all the way up to the top, the back of your head too. So let's fill that up. Let's get everybody filled up there. It's like that stillness, being in that stillness and really coming into ourselves is sort of like being in that recovery place where the body's at rest. Oh, we've got like oh, beautiful. It's either an eagle or a hawk. I can't tell. It's too far away. Wow, just caught the light. Beautiful. So good sign of coming. So that recovery, because when the body is really in that place of relaxing, and sleep is not always relaxing for a lot of different reasons. The body, doesn't have that chance to recuperate, to rejuvenate, regenerate properly. So let's do this right now. We're setting it up to, we're setting up ourselves up by coming into this deeper state of being, of just being, and in the stillness. There might be some emotional pieces coming up for some people. That's all right. Just, that's good to let it come out. And it's not to necessarily dismiss it, but just to acknowledge it and know that, that was something you experienced and that's not you. So again, kind of bringing that separation between what we experience and who we are, because those are two very different things. And when we get to who we are, then we can come into that purity of our being, of who we are, which is what we're here for. We're here to really bring that forward. Yeah, very nice. So the backs look a lot better. Now we're going to move to the waist on down. So if you're sitting, make sure to really get into the legs as well. Because sometimes when we're sitting, especially cross-legged, but even just sitting on a chair, we can kind of get disconnected from our legs because we kind of just tend to, boom, we feel our seat on the, our butt on the chair. And if you're standing, that's a little easier. I'm watching this eagle or hawk. Oh, it could be a turkey vulture also. Can't really tell. It's a little too far away. Flying around, so that's why I'm kind of wandering off with my vision. But let's really make sure to get into from the waist on down. So really bringing your, and then, if you need to with your hands, just, kind of just gently squeeze your legs a little bit, just pat your sides, your front, just to bring that tactile connection and make that more lively in your conscious mind. So breathing slowly and bringing yourself into that. And even, as we breathe, the breath is taking place a lot up here because that's the lungs. But even with the lungs filling in and out, there is something that's, it's getting impacted down there. So even if it's if it's through the movement of the diaphragm moves up on the exhale, then moves down on the inhale to make room for the lungs, or push the air out of the lungs. That's going to translate into the lower half in some way. So see if you can notice that for yourself as you breathe. You might notice, you might feel your belly kind of being a little bit more into the action with the in-breath, expanding out with the in-breath and coming back in with the exhale. So that's good. That's good right now for that. You know, and kind of feel like with the in-breath as you breathe in, so the air filling up the lungs, and feeling with the air coming into your lungs, feeling that energy flowing all the way down your legs into your toes, really filling that up. So that will help to bring you into your legs more. Yeah. And the back of the lower legs can use some attention on some of you. Some people, it's like the top of the thighs, and the side of the thighs. So make sure you get, 3 all around in all directions. Yeah, and I'm actually seeing stuff separating out. So there's layers separating out. Oh, and if something is separating out from you, that means it's basically a distortion. So as you come into your body, as you fill in, what separates out from you coming into your body and filling yourself up with your awareness is not you. It's not you to begin with, or it's an old part of you that you don't need to have anymore, kind of thing. So why sleep is not restful a lot. So it can be a lot of stress that the person just hasn't released during the day. I like to do some kind of yoga or stretching, or like Yin Yoga, to kind of slow down the mind, slow everything down, get everything a little bit stretched so that it's more relaxed. It's like taking a nice big stretch with your arms. Then they can relax more. Same thing. A lot of processing can happen at night for people. Some people can manage to do that in their sleep. I usually get woken up because it's just the way my awareness works. It's like this conscious awareness of, sometimes I wish I could just flip it off and just go to sleep through it. But so that can, and I'll share this because this might be helpful for people. If I'm talking about it, this might be helpful for somebody here. Don't turn on the light if you can, or just a low light if you need to go to the bathroom or something. But turn off the light, and even if you are wide awake, your mind is going, to not have that light on helps to your body is at a certain level, to a certain extent, stay in that deeper kind of rest rhythm that happens with sleep. And personally, I mean, I don't have to get up really early in the morning to go running off out the door for some jobs, somewhere where I have to drive or take the bus or whatever, go rushing off. So thank God for that. But even if your mind is racing, whether you have the lights off and you're just laying there, it's kind of hard to do sometimes, because the mind, when the mind is kind of bouncing around, you want to move, makes you want to move. But if you can come back and focus in on your breath a little bit, even if you have to keep bringing your awareness back to that, that will help to your body to just have a little bit more rest and recuperation during that sleep time. So there you go. So another nice deep breath in. Let's see how people are doing with their legs. Yeah, okay, this is interesting. Yeah, so lower legs. Let's come into the lower legs a little bit more. There's a little bit of what's coming up as stiff leg there, and that comes up when people are energetically, when they're pulled up in their head. And so when you're up here, your whole energy system tends to pull up, unless you can really be in your mind and really be present in your whole body, head to toe, all the way down to the feet. But what usually happens, and I think, yeah, I talked to that before because I remember making a little design for you, but little picture, but it's like there's your body and your energy is going to be, instead of being like this, it's going to be pulled up. So what happens is anything that's below that line is not really getting the energy it feels. My feet are freezing. So let's come down into those feet. So really bringing that awareness into those feet. And some people have also just that circulation out to the extremities, like the hands and feet. So let's really breathe into those feet. Massage those feet if you want, to help you really kind of come into that awareness of your feet. Coming into that grounding again, that grounding meaning coming into our body. And what I'm noticing is that, at least for some people, what that's bringing up is actually distortions that are higher up. So that's part of the reasons for pulling up, is like, well, okay, we might be up here, but then to get grounded, we've got to come to here, we've got to come to here, whatever, and all the way on down. So, if we've got something in our heart, some pain or some, whatever, emotional pain or whatever, we're going to be pulling up. That's, imagine hitting your thumb with a hammer. Everything is just pulling away back, like you're, we just do that to not feel the pain so much. Because if you really bring your awareness to where you hit your thumb with a hammer, you're really going to feel the pain. Hi, Michelle. Michelle says, hello, everyone. Good to see you. So we're just taking some time to really just kind of get into the body, slow down the breath, and really feel ourselves in the body. So some stuff is, so there's a layer that's coming up for people in the front. We kind of brought the back. So let's become really aware of that front side as well, if you notice that that's happening for you, and let's kind of bring a little separation there for people. And remember, it's just stuff that's coming from an experience. So even if you feel it, just it's like so let's say it's a feeling of sadness. It's like, it's not I am sad, it's I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling the sadness. And you can really let yourself feel that. But saying I am sad, it's like making you that sadness, making yourself that sadness. So that's moving off from people. So that's good. Very nice. Everybody, yeah, okay, really bright group here, brightening up. So that's nice. So let's come into our full bodies here. Oops, and I didn't read my disclaimer there. So, but the usual disclaimer, guys, that I'm not a medical doctor, and I don't diagnose, prescribe, or heal. I'm just scanning your frequency and energy patterning and letting you know what I see. So if you need to consult a professional therapist or doctor if you want that kind of advice. That's not what I'm giving you. So Let's come into the full body. Overall, everybody's really bright, and then I see with some people, there's like these little streaks in the brightness. So it's not like somebody's totally dark and other people are bright. It's like, oh, basically everybody's bright and like glowing. It's almost glowing. But then there's these kind of areas where it's dark. So really come into your whole body. And let's, for a moment, let's really just feel our presence, our spirit, our presence, our essence, however you want to name it, that purity of you inside your body, inside you. Let's really feel that. And let's come into that. Yeah, and I can see some people are feeling happy with that. Little smiles coming on in people's faces. That relaxation, that relaxation just being coming through. And when we relax, when we feel at ease with ourselves, we can just open up and expand, take up our space. Our space for each person is arm's length out. So when we get stressed, we tend to pull back in. And feeling yourself come into that more expanded state. And pushing back another little layer of dust. Every time we do that, it's like this layer of dust that's accumulated that we're just moving out. Yep. There's a little bit of stuff that needs to clear out there from someone. It's like I just also saw someone. There's a little bit of a energetic kind of attack of somebody, just angry energy coming in at somebody. So absolutely not. Yeah. And if you feel that for yourself, just if you notice that, if that was you, just like, no, I'm not going to go there right now. Maybe later, but not now. This is my time. Be real clear with that for yourself. Even if it's something that's coming in energetically at you, take command, take control. It's like absolutely not. This is my space, my time. Out. Yep. And so coming more strongly when that comes up, it's like absolutely not, holding that even more strongly for yourself in your mind. There we go. And expanding back out. Yes. This is how we take control of our lives. A lot of you are, not probably all of you, at some level, in some shape or form, are highly aware. You're aware. Oh, wow. That hawk just flew right over the deck. Very close. Sorry, guys. It's like, oh my God. It's like so cool. As I was saying, a lot of you are really aware of the non-physical. Something comes at you and you can feel it. So when you feel that in your mind, say, no, this is my space, and really come into holding that space for yourself. How do you do that? You can use the imagery of your body, and holding that in your mind. So no other thoughts in your mind, holding that in your mind. And you might feel like, you're struggling. It's hard to hold on. So the first time will be the hardest. So, and you might feel like you're shaking. Just kind of breathe, notice the shaking, hold that image in your mind, keep going back to it. If your mind kind of goes off to the side a little bit, come back to that. It's like, nope, focusing on me, just me, my space. Mm. And sometimes conditions are such that there's a lot more of the stuff that comes up. Last week was pretty hard that way. There's been times back, if I look back, like September. Oh my God, September was kind of like that for me. It's like every single night was like not a good sleep night. So again, let's take a nice deep breath in. Yes, we're kind of making a good space, creating a good sphere, circle for ourselves. Holding ourselves, holding our state of being for ourselves. And you can feel that just expanding out for you. And as it expands out for you, you're pushing away things that are, so that's why it kind of might feel like you're shaky. I mean, it's like lifting a weight or something, your muscles might get a little shaky. So same thing here is, as you really hold on to that, you might feel a little shaky. Just keep working through that. That will eventually you'll feel that you can feel yourself kind of expanding out. And reinforcing that space for you, for yourself. Yeah, you did it. That's right. And all this other stuff just okay, I see a question, Elizabeth. I'll be there in a minute. So procrastination. Okay, Elizabeth has a question. So you can all just kind of come into your breath and just feel that feel yourself in your within yourself. How do I deal with procrastination? Okay. Well, the first question around procrastination that comes up is it procrastination according to somebody else's timing, or is it procrastination according to your own timing? The reason I say that, because a lot of times we can feel like we're procrastinating because there's this external pressure that it's telling us we have to get something done by a certain time. And we all have our own timing that might be following a different rhythm there. So that's the one thing to kind of get clear on, am I holding back because of what? What's the reason for not getting around to doing something? Is it because it's not time to do this? Am I feeling pressure from something external? And something external could be still inside of you, like, just something you've heard somebody say, you've got to get this in time. Or is it because it's not the right time? Now, I know you're in school, so part of the problem with school is that a lot of schools, public schools, are tend to be very rigid structures, so we don't learn we learn to bend to somebody else's kind of an external thing about. I'll get to you, Kayla, in a minute. So in school, there's a lot of rigid structures, and public schools tend to be really, really rigid instead of the person learning to follow their own kind of rhythm. So there's a little bit of that. So how do you deal with that? Well, you have to come to terms with that for yourself, and have support yourself as best as you can in terms of talking with yourself about, okay, this isn't my rhythm, and I have to kind of follow this other rhythm that's not mine. So how can I do that? How can I get this done in time? Because there is this time limit that I'm kind of obliged to follow, and find that rhythm for yourself. Find a way for yourself to work with that, and it could be like, okay, if I get this done, I can just sit back and like take a break or something, kind of thing. So see if that helps you, because it's not a question of well, you're procrastinating, you're not doing things on time. I mean, what's the reason behind that? It's kind of complex. Dancing to Bloom. Oh my God, our cat just relentlessly attacking me randomly while sitting here, to the point that I was about to go and shut myself in the bathroom. Okay, she's still doing that crazy stuff, huh? Let's see, let's skip. Had to get up and move. She was jumping at my face. Wow, she's really going nuts, right? Also, okay, I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Alejandra, also the procrastination might be that this is not a pure. Yes, totally, absolutely. So that the goal you're working on is not a pure goal, and so the procrastination is that holding back because it's not aligned with you, and there's something in you saying, I really don't want to be doing that. So it comes back to understanding, well, what is the reason for the procrastination? Why am I holding back? Procrastination, let's just say, why am I holding back from doing this? Why am I like resisting? So Alejandra, asking yourself that, and kind of like seeing, how do I feel about this? Where am I? If you're in a situation where you need to, it's like, okay, I'm obliged to because I'm in public school, for example. So how can I find that balance for bringing my rhythm, following my rhythm, and being able to meet the deadlines from the external? Let me come back up. So crazy, you're talking about the public school system. I got this guidance to homeschool my kids. I scares me shitless. I don't know. Why should it scare you so much? Yeah, it's funny because we talked about it last year. Okay, Kayla. Everybody, let's all do this. This cat is going nuts. Yeah, this it's maybe really try to get that cat fixed, since you're planning on doing that. But it's almost this feeling like something just takes her over. So everybody, let's do this for Kayla. And take a deep breath in, coming into center, into your center, and feeling. So Kayla, really coming into your center and coming into that space, into your space, and really saying, no, I'm going to own my space. This is nothing attacks me, nothing. So everybody, let's all go in that place, because we can all use that feeling of owning your space. And I'll get to these other messages here. So coming into that space, yourself, and saying, no, owning my space. Yeah, cats are a little harder to deal with because, you know, they got those claws, but and she looks so gentle on your Dancing to Bloom videos. Uh, all right, and focusing on that. There's yeah, she's kind of going a little nuts. So I'm not real. I'm not really that animals are not something I'm used to working with. But she looks crazed, and there could be so many reasons for that. But yeah, so sometimes coming into heat will do that. But anyways, maybe something was there and she saw that. Maybe something started to leave. That could be part of it. Hard to tell because she's kind of been doing that for several days and attacking different people. So, but it could be that there's something. So Kayla, that if that's the case, I mean, coming in and we've done this before, really owning your space and then owning your territory. And for everybody else, it's like territory. It's like your so the way we did it with Kayla was like house property. That's your territory, and in your territory is your family, your kids, your spouse. Um, had a lot coming up today regarding control and some icky feeling stuff. Okay, that could be that. Yeah, it's kind of getting extreme, but there's sometimes this stuff gets really extreme. Let's see, Alejandra. Huge release today. Just experienced a different feeling of like cold and hot in my feet, neck and shoulders. Ever felt something like like this? Yes. When things shift like that, I mean, I remember when I started going to healing school, learning energy healing. So it was intensive program, it was a 3-year program. I think it was like the first couple times I had like these red welts on my neck. And basically, because it's like there's the energy is not flowing properly, so there's these shifting that's happening, and I will when there's that internal some really deep stuff that's shifting, my body will heat up. It could be a certain area, but it can also be the whole body. So a lot of just shifting things that are getting realigned. That it's lower spine is hurting. So I'm getting down the line here. Shot the cat. And there you go. There's one suggestion. She says with a grin. Um, I've had red flashes. Yeah. So, all right. Coming back up to Elizabeth, my lower spine is hurting. All right. So come into that area. Yeah. You've got, so you, you're not fully present in your lower abdomen, and you do have a lot of changes that are going on for you because of age. So there's a lot of reorientation in that area, but really coming into that area will help that. Is there anything else? Let's see. Also, we worked with this a little bit with you, so notice up here too. Anything sitting on your shoulders, anything up here, because that's going to affect the lower abdomen. So it's not necessarily right in the area. Glenna, I've been avoiding the public schools where I work, not wanting to be there. Yeah, I think my sense is that that's been kind of in the forefront for you, and you've been kind of just hoping to just kind of get by, in a sense, just kind of keep going and for that to be okay. So I think you're getting more and more at a place where it's time to change, it's time to shift. So I know you've kind of been a little hesitant with that, and that's fine. So if you decide to stay, then it's like, well, how do I if I continue here, how do I find that balance for myself? My neck adjusted while I was in deep meditation. Yes, we come more into that deeper state of relaxation. I've had red flashes. So red flashes, I'm seeing other. So red flashes. So my question to you is, are you literally seeing them, or like like with your physical eyes, or are you seeing them with the internal eyes? Because that could be two different things. If you're seeing them with your physical eyes, you could actually be seeing like flashes of that particular frequency of red. That's happened to me. And if it's internal vision, it could translate into a lot of different things. I tend to see red when there's inflammation, where there's anger, or kind of stuff will show up as red. Alejandra, so speaking of school, says, I wish I could avoid my school. So, all right, let's take a nice deep breath in. Let's all settle into this. Yeah, so let's all come into that space. So Kayla, as I'm talking, there's this sense of, there's part of this with the cat is this internal stuff that you're clearing of something really pushing at you to control, basically. So taking whatever it can to throw you off, and because you're probably hesitant to throw the cat across the room if it jumps at you, and that feels like that might be really aggressive, but that's also, it's like, no, absolutely not. But so it's a little bit of a power play through the cat, and needing to really come in, own yourself. So everybody, this is for everybody, own yourself, own your physical space, your body, extend that out to arm's length out, and like your territory, which is, it could be your physical home, so the house and the property, and in that also part of your territory, if you're a parent, it's your children, your husband or wife, whoever, your partner, if that's part of your life. And it's like really feeling that attitude. So let's really feel that for yourself. It's like, no, that feeling of no one messes with my territory. And coming into that, and that is also this piece. So coming back to the school, it's also this piece of like, I'm going to stay centered in myself. And yes, I don't want to go to work, I don't want to be in this environment, but I am not going to let that I'm not going to let that take away my center, take away my owning myself. So really just holding that for yourself. It's like, okay, I'm in a situation I don't like, but the hell if that's going to take away my center, my being centered in myself. Divine intervention, both, but it's releasing. Just notice it. Yeah. So something flash. So yeah, something shifting through. So good. Dancing the bloom. Yeah, but yes, completely right on. Yes, sometimes it takes a while to see that, because we get sidetracked. Like, what the hell's wrong with this cat, right? There can't be anything else with this cat, but it's amazing how that comes up. Okay, let's take a nice deep breath in for ourselves. Again, one more time, just feeling that centeredness for ourselves, coming back into that calm, regardless of all the stuff that's around us, because there's quite a bit of stuff that I didn't talk about here, but coming into that fullness. Yeah, so now a lot of people are going like, Jew, I'll be asked to leave by the end of the month, all part of what we're up against here in Canada. Oh, great. Well, that might be a blessing. I know it's hard to. So here's the catch. Okay, if you have a sense that you're going to be left, or you're going to be asked to leave, it can be a really gaining back your power by being the first one to say, I'm leaving. I'm not going to stay here. It also depends if it's a question of getting staying, having them make you leave so that you get benefits, at least in your mind. Have it within yourself, even if it's not at physical level, at the internal level, saying, I'm leaving, making that choice to leave. And taking it's owning your power and taking your power. It's a very different impact on the person. Whereas if it's like, well, I'm just going to hang out, just going to wait, and then you're asked to leave, then it's like, ugh. But if you're in your mind, you say, nope, I'm leaving, and I have no fear. Yeah, good for you. Good for you. It's so. All right, deep breath in, coming to an end. Please like on YouTube, like my video, because that helps me get out there. And this is about the only way I'm a one-person business here, and so it helps me connect with people who might benefit from this. Tomorrow again, land clearing for El Salvador. So if you want to show up for that, same time. So 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you're joining in to just hang out and watch, basically, but you also get cleared. It's already starting to things are starting to get organized. So I say in the ethers for that for tomorrow. So it should be really good. It's very much needed for El Salvador. If you're old enough to know the hell that has gone on in that country in recent history, and older stuff. But so that's tomorrow, and next week we're here starting the PLI program, the Pure Life Infusions program. That's going to be on Mondays at 2 p.m. Eastern for four Mondays in a row. So if you're on YouTube, there are some little videos on that. You can get a sampler, you can get a real feel, because it's just this infusions into purity. Wow, this was absolutely amazing session. I feel so much in charge of my space, my territory. Yes, went back to my room with the cat, and she is no longer attacking. Like, there we go. Take back that space. Yeah, absolutely. So very good. Yeah, and remember to include your kids, because you were talking yesterday about that, the cat going after your kids. So it's like, nope, not going to attack anything. 4-year-old who's really trying to pull me off center today, and I just tried again. And after a moment of me holding my space, she let up with ease and no crying. Yep, there you go. Yeah, there it is. It's so things like that really coming up to just check on us. Yeah, so December 6th, there's a sampler, so on YouTube, so, and on Facebook too, so check that out. And if you'd like to join us, that'd be great. It's complimentary with any other kind of work you're doing. Feel so empowered with today's session. Thank you, Marianne. Oh, I'm so glad, Glenna. I look forward to your session in December. If you're talking about the PLI, so that's there's several, and if you want to join the group, let me know. Or the coming into being session. Yes, my daughter pulls me out, but today she calmly sat next to me. Yes. There it is. So just coming in that space, and they do that because it's like, get back on track, Mom. It's kind of a funny way that the universe kind of is pointing to us that we're not synced up and holding our own. Yes, PLI. Okay, so I'll send you an email on that. Thank you, Michelle, for stopping by, and yay, Dancing to Bloom, yay, let's take back that space. So good session today, good workout all around with a lot of different things. And Big move. Yes. Okay. Thanks for everybody. Thanks for stopping in. We'll call it a day here and see you next time, wherever that is. Bye-bye.